He, as in Tao.
Coming to you live from Oracle Arena, it's the Tao Eternal. Hey homies, what up? Oh, what's that? The burning red face victory. It's so good. And it's interesting too because just a mere couple days ago, I was just losing. And then, no lies, when in doubt, I go on to the leaderboard and I start looking at the best decks. Top players, what are they running? My only complaint with the game so far is tuning for legendary drop rates. I've been playing since launch, so that's I think just under 2 months, and I only have 2 legendary cards, both of which I bought at 500 Crimson a pop as a one-off from the store. I have been an active player. I'm in the top I'm 72 in the world. I've never gotten a legendary card in a pack. That tuning feels off. The only thing about it that's kind of frustrating is the top 3 players, by far, Hauser, James, and Chete. They all have legendaries that they run that are at least level 2. Chete's Awakened Goliath. I don't even know how many cards that takes. So, just one issue. I'm talking with them about it. I think that there can be some changes to it in the future. And I think it'll make them more money. Because, think about it. Mutinous Jane, they were selling in the store 1 card for $5. So getting that first one, it's pretty valuable. Because getting that one gives you access to the card. But all the abilities on the legendaries, that's really what makes them shine. For example, Wolf and Iscariot, they don't even get healing until level 2. And healing is really what makes them worth their cost. I guess Wolf is fine without it. It's a really good card. But having access to the future functions to get a legendary leveled up to level 4, and it takes 5 cards for the first level, I think 10 for the second, I think 20 for the third, and maybe 40 for the fourth. So what's that? 75 cards? 75 times 5, you do the math. That's hundreds of dollars to pay for a legendary Awakened. That's too much. Except for the very few people that can actually afford that. And then that's way too pay to win. So, my recommendation is lower the cost of legendaries in the in-game shop to something more like $1 a card. I feel that if it feels more obtainable for the player, that they will spend more money on packs trying to get them. So the 2 changes that would happen would be you lower how a legendary is valued within the in-game economy to about $1 a card. And then you adjust legendary drop rates accordingly within the packs. If the packs are more likely to drop legendaries or at a rate that feels more fair, I feel that people will buy more of them. I've spent about $20 on the game. I did like a little starter pack action here and there. The last time I paid $10 for a pack, I kind of just regretted it. It didn't feel like I got much. And particularly, you can grind your way into so many of the cards, and I'm just not seeing them, at least the legendaries. Something to look at. It's really the only area of the game that I think really needs tuning and improvement. Everything else is just awesome. But anyway, I digress. When you're looking for a new deck to run, if you're losing a lot, go to the leaderboard and see if you can find someone that has the cards that you have, and try out their deck. Not everyone is running maxed out legendaries. So Ancient from my guild on the Rise, has a bunch of Awakened cards, But even if you don't have them awakened, you can try them out within your deck. That one's got a lot of epics. This one, pretty much all those cards are pretty standard, except for Wolf. Boom, no legendaries there. You'll find something that's intriguing, and it can give you some options for, resetting your thinking about how to play the game. For example, I moved away from Hydra Leaders, and now I've used Hydra Leader to climb all the way to Champions. It's pretty great. Anyway, what's all this rambling about? We hit Champion, so it's time to review some of my top replays. And I want to put an emphasis on, I'll probably forget halfway through, but let's look particularly at how wells are being played. I kind of did a feature on this before. As a note, the meta changes every 20 days in this game. So my older videos, it's not that they still won't be entertaining and a blast to watch, but any statements about the meta only last as long as the current season because this game is changing the meta so much. My initial stance on wells has changed a few times and I've updated it recently. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that during the course of these games. But first, let's check out this one. Little civil war within the guild. Shout out to On the Rise homies. I think we're doing really good with the tome this season, so awesome. All right, I got Hydra Leader. Initially, I wasn't really hot on the card, just in general. As a leader, I think it's amazing. Each time you play it, you get one additional Hydra. At first, I was kind of nervous about playing it on cooldown. I think it's totally fine if you've got nothing else to play, just to jam a few down at mid-court just to get another one for the next time around. They're awesome. And even as just a card in the deck, they don't get run as much as some things like Gremlin, but their ability to slow an opponent's attack speed, I think, is the unsung hero of their kit. Slowing down their movement, that's cool. Doing the poison damage over time, that's cool. But slowing down an enemy's attack speed, that's actively diminishing their DPS. On certain champions that attack really fast, particularly something like a Gregor, if you cut that attack speed in half, they're doing way less damage, and that can turn the tide of a battle. And Carbon, shout out homie, running that sniper leader that I love. He shoots country mile. All right, so I got a well. With the new patch that's coming, they are going to prevent, let's see, am I going to play the well? I should. They're going to stop that from happening. So right now, my well I've placed on the middle tower. They're going to force it so you can't actually place it in the tower. That's been a bug. I think right now maybe mine's just above it, but a lot of players, you've been able to place your well in the tower, forcing your opponent to hammer your back tower if they want to hammer your well. In a previous video, I had said if my opponent drops a well and I can get a tower and the well, I do it. I am changing my stance. Activating the enemy's back tower is a huge advantage for them, and the reason why so many top level players have been exploiting the glitch and dropping their wells inside of their back tower is to bait opponents into hammering their back tower to get it active. I was underestimating how much additional damage and defense comes from that back tower being active early in the game, and so now I wait as long as possible before activating the enemy's back tower. To that end, if I can hammer a well and a front tower, I may do it. But I'm finding more and more that saving the hammer for the really problem champions like Mystic is the better play. And I'm finding more and more that when an opponent hammers my well, I use that as an opportunity to drop some aggressive cards on the board and get an advantage in lane. So there's going to be a lot of opinions about it either way, but as of right now, I don't think it's the right move to hammer a well. And Well's going to be updated with 1.4. It's going to be 6 mana cost again. It's going to have a flat rate of 7 mana generation, and it's going to have an attack speed buff for towers within range. I don't know if it's the same range as now or if that's shorter or longer. And with those changes, it might become desirable to hammer wells again because fully leveled up, I think they can increase the attack speed of a tower by either 50% or as a leader, I think maybe 100%. That could be a huge advantage. So they might be so advantageous for your opponent that hammering them becomes viable again. But at least for the rest of this season, I don't really see it. Anyway. Alright, Carbon plays a Crip. He's getting his offense going. Kind of just cycling some cards. I got my well, so I'm waiting for him to play something aggressive. We get a Stonecutter out, so I'm going to drop some Villagers just to cycle cards, I guess. I'm just burning some mana, so that was me misplaying there a little bit, but clean that up pretty fast. If Stonecutter takes quarter health, that's not too bad. He has a Sniper Leader. Sniper Leader, I think, is worth a hammer pretty much every time, because unless you have a spell to take it out, and I don't know if Spikes takes it out. I think it might. I think there's a good chance, but I don't use Spikes that much. If you don't have a spell to take that thing out, you're not going to get to it if the opponent puts down any defense. So you might as well just hammer it. If you can get a tower as well, that's great. And get it out of your way to prevent the damage that it would do. Alright, he drops a Marauder on my pack. I got a Sniper. I got some Bros. And he cleans up the push fairly well. But it looks like we're going to go about even in this whole exchange. His Gremlin gets a shot off. He's got a Crypt going mid-court. I'm not too worried about it right now. It's not effective unless he drops something else. I drop the Sniper to ensure that I take that out. He drops his well. There's the glitch. And again, people have been doing it. It's felt normal, but apparently it's not what section intended, and it will get cleaned up in the 1.4 update. If I wanted to hit that tower with a hammer, I would have to, or hit the well with a hammer, I would have to activate the tower as well. Alright, Sniper's a little vulnerable, so I'm probably going to put something around it, or just let it die. His Sniper gets plenty of range on everything I've got there. I hammer it just to get it out of the picture. Hydras go in to put up a little bit of D against that Iscariot, and the Stonecutter comes in. He's got a great push, and I'm going to lose that tower. There it goes. Okay, so now I'm down, but I'm certainly not out. I got a minute 20. Top lane's not going great, so I'm sure I'm going to shift gears to bottom lane, so at least I have a tower that I can work with. He drops a well. I'll probably drop a well. And again, during all of this, 20 seconds has gone by where I'm not taking one of his towers, so if you're in the lead, sometimes it's nice just to stall things out as much as you can. Alright, I drop a Marauder, go up against his Sniper, he gets an Iscariot, my Enchantress, and Sniper take out his push. That Marauder's going down. I got guys rolling in. I drop some Bros. Now I've got a super awesome push. He's got a Gremlin, which is great D, but it's not going to do enough damage fast enough to really stop me. Or is it? No, Sniper's going to take him out. I got Gremlin. Got Enchantress on the tower. Iscariot's going to come in. The Marauder's just going to buy a little bit of time for me to let that Sniper do some more damage. Boom. And that's the tower. Getting Enchantress on his Iscariot. I love Enchantress. At 3 cost is great. I think it probably always should have been there. The support cards, I think Section is realizing they can't cost too much because they don't do any damage. Right? Like, Windweaver is 5 mana right now, and almost no one runs it. I believe in 1.4 they're going to bring it down to 4 mana, and I think that'll make it a lot more viable. But Enchantress at 3 mana, it's awesome, because a 3 mana card, you can drop just to cycle into other cards. It doesn't feel like you've lost a lot, even if it dies right away. And having an Enchantress as an ability to lock up a lot of higher cost enemy units when they're attacking your tower, it's great. Like, just dropping an Enchantress to lock up a Gregor instead of it destroying your tower, and watching it locked up and your tower just take shots at it, it's so awesome. It's really great for D, so I'm loving these 3 cost Enchantress. Alright, his Sniper's going to take out mine because he's got the range. And we just reset. I take out the sniper with the hammer because I don't trust that sniper. Marauder and Gremlin in the bottom. I drop some villagers behind just to get a few extra shots on that Marauder. Gremlin takes out all my Hydras. I drop a Marauder. I didn't really need to do that. That was a bit of a misplay there. But I guess I got a little bit of a lumbering push in the bottom. I'm probably going to look for a sneaky window to switch gears up top to take out that tower, because I think it'll be easier than taking out his main tower, and that will secure me the win. I drop a sniper to deal with this Iscariot bot lane. He's got a stonecutter that's going to knock up my sniper, so what do? Hammer. I think that's great. Takes it out, saves some damage on the tower. I use my Hydras, and I really would have preferred to save them for the top, but I dropped the Bros. They're going to do some damage here. Stewards come behind, probably for no reason. Got a sniper there. He's going to take out the Gremlin. That's a great little bonus for me. Another Iscariot comes bottom. Gremlin didn't die, but I'm not worried about it. Drop another sniper for that Iscariot. He does the Stonecutter combo again. I drop a Marauder. I get an Enchantress. I lock up all the damage he was going to do. All right, now this is, spoiler alert, my favorite combo right now. I look at my deck. I got 5 mana. I don't know he has 6, but I saw him just play some cards, so I know he doesn't have 10. One of my favorite combos right now is to sneak in Bros within a bunch of Hydras. My Hydras are about to come up, so I think it's incredibly likely I'm going to drop both at the same time top lane. He's going to sniper. That would not stop my push. I feel like it's still a good environment to do it, so I drop the Bros. I drop the Hydras. They do plenty of damage. Take out the sniper. I got a hammer there, and boom. Zerg down that tower. Hydras and Bros. Hydras and Stonecutters as well. They really work well together. Probably my favorite thing, well, no, that's just a really good card. But at first, when I saw Hydras come out, I was like, wait, they're going to roll through all of your tanks and stuff. They're going to draw aggro. That's not good for a ranged unit. I think one of my favorite things about the Hydras now is how fast they are. It's really surprising for an enemy if you do something like Hydra's Stonecutter or Hydras and Bros, and they close the gap from the mid-court to the opponent's tower so quickly. It's just incredible. Save that one for last. So, as is tradition, I want to feature Hauser. Just working me. I think this one, maybe I put up a little bit more of a fight, but I was climbing hard, and every time I ran into Hauser over the last 5 hours, I lost every match. Hauser, I believe, is number 1 right now in terms of games won, and I just wanted to feature this game to show you what he's doing. Again, you have to have a Gregor probably at least level 2 to make this deck work, and you need to have dogs fully upgraded. More people have been running dog leader lately. If you have awakened dogs, you get 4 of them, and they have enough health to, let's say, how do I say this? Right now, Hauser is account level 10, and I'm account level 8, which means that my towers have a certain amount of health and are doing a certain amount of damage per shot. If you are level 10 or have maxed out dogs and you're facing an opponent that isn't maxed out in terms of their account level, it takes 3 tower shots to kill one of your dogs. At any other, if all things are even and you're playing against another person with a maxed out account, it only takes 2 tower shots. But the difference between needing 3 tower shots to take out 4 dogs versus needing 2 tower shots apiece to take out 4 dogs, in that meantime, the dogs get so many extra attacks. So if you have maxed out dogs and you're playing against an opponent that's not at a max count level, it's such a good thing to drop on a tower because they have to respond to it, and if they don't, they'll virtually take a whole tower just on their own. It's really, really strong, and it's one of these things that just kind of skirts by some of the in-game stats. And I really wasn't understanding how sneaky it was, and then I went back and did the calculation, and yeah, if you have maxed out dogs, they're really, really strong right now. Now that could change with some tuning, but the whole each dog needs 3 tower shots to be taken out. It's just so much extra time. So you're going to see that this game. Just wanted to mention it. I've got a well, so I'm sure I'll play a well. I imagine he's going to play the Gregor at the back line. There it is. So already, he's got that Gregor going. How am I going to respond? Probably my 2 best options are dropping an Enchantress after it makes impact with my tower. Because if it's too close, it's going to shock my Enchantress as well when it has this little shock orb. Or I drop a Marauder on it and interrupt its charge. I'm sure I'll do one or the other. Oh, I drop a Hammer. Interesting. I don't really like that play at all. I think I was just nervous at this point because I lost over and over again. So boom. I'm already in terrible shape. He drops an Enchantress up top, hoping that if I don't respond, she's going to lock up the tower and start doing damage. Meanwhile, bottom, I've got 1 Enchantress on his Gregor, which is fine, but he just dropped his dogs, and my tower is shooting the Gregor. So the dogs are either going to take out my Enchantress or the tower, and he's also got his Mystic behind him. Watch how quickly this tower dies. I have a Gremlin to try and do some D. Didn't matter. 2 of the dogs are still alive. So he used Gregor and dogs and took out that tower. That was it. He's got an Automaton. It's on my Marauder. It gets maxed out, so it shocks it. I'm just going to let the tower take out the Automaton because I'm just screwed trying to figure out what to do with what little mana I have. He plays a well, so I'm like, yeah, I'll play a well and just wait for him to crush me on his next push. Dogs come out, takes out the well, does some tower damage. Almost did a quarter of my main tower damage. Like, look at how strong that is. And again, this is one of those few areas in the game where I'm just a little sticky about it. Like, anyone can get level 10 dogs, but it takes a long time, and they are so much better than level 9 dogs. Gregor's on my main tower. He's locked up by an Enchantress. I do a little bit better this time around at stopping that push, but they still got some tower damage. I've got a Sniper walking on the board. Dog's going to take that out real quick. I drop the Bros, probably out of desperation. I get my Bros Hydra combo. I like it, and there's not tons of mana on his side to respond, so I get half tower health. Almost 2/3. That's a pretty good counter push. That's probably the best I got against him all day. But now I have no mana. He's got a Mystic. My Gremlin was very poorly played there. He's just going to get zapped up. The Enchantress is stopping the tower from doing any damage. Stewart's cleaning things up. He gets his dogs on my tower. I don't have any mana really to respond. I drop the Marauder, and that saves the day. Whew, but barely. Hydras come in, trying to do some damage to whatever I can. Gremlin's going to take all that out. I've got Sniper. It's going to take out that Gregor. So I actually get to a point where I'm almost stabilizing, but I'm still not pushing onto his tower. I'm really just defending his pushes. And if you defend a push and don't have any units left after the defense, you're just barely breaking even. It's not a way to win the match. His Mystic comes and takes out everything. I hammer his Mystic, but it doesn't matter. Dogs are on my tower. I've got nothing to respond to them. He's just dropping minions all over the place. Automaton's drilling things. My Hydras are like, help! Get me out of here! Game over. Never really stood a chance. Good job, Hauser. Once I get a level 2 Gregor, I'm totally running your deck. And level 10 dogs. So, give me another season. Alright. And let's do one more. The old victory match. Just celebrating good times here. Come on! Ding 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 ding. Woo woo! Evil from Shuffles. Evil's good. But is he good enough in this one? I got the Hydra leaders still. And he's running the Automaton leader, which is awesome. Automaton last season, it felt like to me that if you're going to run it, you need it in the leader slot. This season, tons of people are just running it as a card in the deck, and I think it's great. It's really cool to put it behind a tank or behind like a Gregor or something, and then just wait for your opponent to walk towards it, and whatever gets nearest, it's going to hook and pull in. So if that's any kind of high cost unit, the Automaton's going to drag it close and knock it over, just serving it up like a hot souffle to whoever else you got on your side. So it's a really strong card. It's a bit tanky. It does some decent damage. Its leader ability is cool where it when it hook shots, it can also do it into a tower, and it hits the tower with max drill speed, so it's doing max damage right away. Left unchecked, it can destroy a tower on its own. It's pretty cool. All right. I got a well. I'm going to play a well. And again, I said I wanted to feature a little bit of the well play here, so just as a noticing, I'm playing the well on my tower virtually every time now. Until my opponent activates my tower, I'm just going to put it there every time because it's safe and it baits them into activating my tower. Next season, with the well changes coming and the fact that they will give an attack speed buff to your towers, I think it's much more likely that you'll see the well played a lot on the guild symbol in the middle between the two towers. If it can have range right in the middle to affect all three towers, I think you'll see it played there a lot, which will be interesting because that'll also put it in a little bit more of a vulnerable place. But for the time being, playing it on your tower every time until your opponent activates it is great, and then afterwards just playing it somewhere else where it's out of the range of the two towers, like on the back wall somewhere. Alright, he's got a wolf, I dropped a sniper, I got hydras on it. He's got a mystic, and boom. Don't even give him a chance to get some damage off there. I got marauder, I got an enchantress. I have a great push going here. Hydra's going to start to soak up all that damage there. I dropped some bros, they're well defended. He drops an automaton and pulls one of my guys, but we got a little enchantress off. Stewart's on the back line trying to get my sniper, but Gremlin cleans that up. I throw some more Stewarts down just to draw a little aggro. That bottom tower just getting melted by sniper shots. I got an enchantress, I'm just locking things up. I'm shooting people, I drop another sniper. One goes down, but I got another. It ain't no thing. Enchantress on enchantress action, boom, takes that out. I'm looking at this, I'm like, well, let's go for it, right? I don't have much mana, but might as well just drop it bot lane and see what happens. Hydras are going in, I got two enchantresses going, so they're locking up the tower. No damage, excellent for me. He's got a mystic, and that starts to zap everything, but boom, here's where I get lucky. Check this out. Oh, sorry, out of range. Useless mystic going top lane. Enchantress comes down, it's going to lock me up, but I've got enough for a marauder. That's going to draw aggro and knocked over the mystic. Stewarts get on my sniper, but I drop a gremlin to clean that up. Hitting that enchantress up. I've got some stewarts. This is looking like GG, baby. Bam. How good of a feeling is that? I only need one more victory. I'm about to hit champion. And then just boom, 3-0. Evil, thank you for being my victim. So there you have it, friends. Just some of those sweet, sweet top replays coming at you. We serving them daily. Not daily, but daily for the last 2 dailies. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe because there will be more. And leave a comment. Still waiting for some comments about this season, this meta. It's almost halfway over, so you might want to say something, get your opinion out there, because woo, next season things are going to be different. Will the mana Syphon still be great? Probably. Who's going to take a hit? Who's going to fall off? I don't know, but we'll find out. Alright, that's going to do it for now. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.